First, there is no doubt in anyone's mind, and there should be no doubt in anyone's mind, that the Bihar election was rigged. There is absolutely no doubt about it. They rigged a certain number of constituencies, made sure that the opposition candidates lost there, so that they had a victory which could only be described as a tsunami victory of the Election Commission, which worked not as an independent constitutional body, but as the handmaid of the Home Minister of India. Ultimately, the ultimate option, Neeluji, is for the opposition to hit the streets. They must mobilize the people, they must go to the people and tell them what exactly has happened in Bihar elections and how elections have no meaning, democracy has no meaning in this country. I mean, my recommendation seriously will be that these few people who have been elected to the Bihar Assembly belonging to the opposition parties, they need not join the assembly. They may not take oath. Let the NDA run Bihar as they want to. Gyanesh Kumar is a disgrace. You are aware of the fact that I, at one time, was a member of the Indian Administrative Service. I spent 25 years in that service before I quit and joined public life. I have always felt proud of the fact that I belong to the IAS. Until Gyanesh Kumar came on the scene, he is also an IAS officer, and I feel ashamed now to say that I once belonged to the IAS. Gyanesh Kumar must go. If democracy has to be saved, then Gyanesh Kumar has to go, and if he does not go through impeachment, he does not go through resignation, he must go as a result of a popular movement.
So, which means that SIR, you think, is deliberately designed to make Modi and Shah win every state election?
Absolutely.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Bihar elections have got over. BJP, and rather NDA, got a landslide victory. It was a tsunami of sorts, but no political analyst, no journalist saw that tsunami playing out. It was a wave to which people were blind, and which is why this narrative about vote theft is gaining ground. There are several evidences to prove that yes, vote chori did take place, not in one, but many, many constituencies. There are reports of how BLOs are dying by suicide. So, is SIR the latest weapon in the hands of the BJP and the NDA at the center? We'll try and discuss all of this. But apart from this, the most significant question at this point of time is, on the eve of winter session of parliament, just few days left, what should the opposition do? Now, there are various options. Should the opposition boycott the elections? Should opposition move an impeachment motion against CEC Gyanesh Kumar? Should they go in for an en masse resignation? Should they come on the street? All these are options, and these are difficult options before the opposition. Will opposition take on the Modi government? It's almost like Modi is now so powerful. NDA is so powerful. Rather, BJP looks so powerful under the aegis of Modi and Shah that opposition looks completely derailed and completely wiped out. How can the opposition activate itself now? That's $1 million question. And joining me this evening is former union minister and veteran politician Yashwant Sinha, who's been part of the BJP. He's seen those years of BJP rule when prime ministers like Atal Bihari Vajpayee were at the helm of affairs. He's worked with people like LK Advani, like Jaswant Singh. But what has happened to politics? That is the million-dollar question. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. And my first question, of course, is with a tweet which you wrote immediately after the Bihar elections were over, that opposition should stop contesting elections. What is the option now before the opposition, according to you?
You said opposition has lost, opposition is losing ground. What should opposition do? It is not merely a question of the opposition in this country anymore. It is a question of protecting, preserving, and safeguarding our democracy, which was given to us by the founding fathers of our constitution. This is the challenge today. And therefore, this challenge has to be met squarely. Now, let's take step by step what should be done by the opposition. First, there is no doubt in anyone's mind, and there should be no doubt in anyone's mind, that the Bihar election was rigged. There is absolutely no doubt about it. They rigged a certain number of constituencies, made sure that the opposition candidates lost there, so that they had a victory which could only be described as a tsunami victory. As you said, nobody who went to Bihar, was living in Bihar, had an interest in Bihar elections, could have any inkling of this tsunami. Nobody had any inkling of the huge waves which were going to be generated by this election. So what really happened? What really happened was very successful rigging of the election with the full cooperation of the Election Commission, which worked not as an independent constitutional body, but as the handmaid of the Home Minister of India, who took upon himself the responsibility of making sure that NDA registered a remarkable victory. Now, you're talking about the forthcoming session of the parliament. How much of this session? Normally, the winter session begins in the second or third week of November and goes on until Christmas time. Now, how many working days are there in this parliamentary session? 15 days. Who is denigrating the Parliament of India? Who is making Parliament of India irrelevant? It is the government of the day. It's the Prime Minister and his Home Minister who have a Gujarat model. In the Gujarat model, the State Assembly had no role to play. It only fulfilled certain constitutional obligation of meeting once in 6 months. The gap between two sessions should not be more than 6 months. This is what the Parliament of India has been reduced to. So, what should the opposition do in this case? Number one, the next election is in Bengal. SIR is taking place in Bengal. BLOs are under great pressure. Many BLOs have committed suicide because they can't put up with this pressure. Now, Mamata Banerjee will have to be extremely careful because, after all, the Election Commission does not have any machinery of its own. Election Commission depends wholly on the state government's machinery. So, she'll have to be careful that the state government machinery does not toe the line of the Election Commission, they toe the line of the Constitution, they toe the line of the laws of the land. That is what she should ensure. And if that does not work, then she'll have to seriously consider whether there is any point in contesting this forthcoming assembly election or not. As far as the opposition in parliament is concerned, I'll like to remind you that I think it was 2011 when BJP was in the opposition and I was in the Lok Sabha as a BJP member. We did not allow the whole winter session to function even for a day. What was the issue? The issue was to set up a JPC to inquire into the 2G scam. That is what the demand of the BJP was. And because the government was not prepared to concede it then, we did not allow the parliament to function even for a single day. That is the record of the BJP. So if the opposition were to decide that they will not allow the, the parliament to function, how can anyone protest? Parliament has been left with absolutely no constitutional role. And with its brute majority in Lok Sabha, with its allies, government has its way in whatever way they want. So that is what it is. Parliament, I see from the newspapers that an all-party meeting has been called. What is the purpose of calling an all-party meeting? Will the Prime Minister attend? If the Prime Minister does not attend, is there any point in the opposition attending that meeting? So there are various ways in which the opposition can make its presence felt.
You are saying that either disrupt parliament or boycott parliament, or should the opposition also think of resigning en masse? Because this is an unprecedented election which has happened in Bihar. So, what are those unprecedented measures which the opposition should
What
go
are the options?
from day one?
Yeah, ultimately, the ultimate option, Neeluji, is for the opposition to hit the streets. They must mobilize the people. They must go to the people and tell them what exactly has happened in Bihar elections and how elections have no meaning, democracy has no meaning in this country. And we are aware of the fact that the people respond to such calls. After all, we had such a massive movement for independence in this country. We had the JP movement. So people are not unaware or unfamiliar with hitting the streets and recording their protest against the government of the day. Ultimately, the opposition will have to hit the streets. Ultimately, the opposition will have to ensure that it is not just a pro forma protest that they are launching. Rahul Gandhi will have to go to jail. The Congress leadership will have to go to jail. And it will not be again a pro forma arrest that you get arrested in the course of the day and then the police releases you in the evening. No. You have to create a situation where the police will have to challan you. They'll have to produce you before a magistrate. They'll have to send you to jail. If you are produced before a magistrate, don't take bail. I have done it in my career, political career, that with hundreds of people, I quoted arrest. And then I said, we will not take bail. This was our stand in the court. And then the court had no option but to send us to jail. And then the government of the day here in Jharkhand had to bend and release us without condition. So if you hit the streets, you raise a movement, it'll give you results. But Twitter will not. A pro forma protest movement will not. The only option left for the opposition is to raise its voice in state assemblies, to raise its voice in parliament, and if the government of the day disturbs it, its members don't allow the opposition to raise its voice, then the opposition has other means at its disposal. And that is ultimately to go to the people of this country, hit the streets, and raise a movement.
The kind of atmosphere which we see right now, sir, it seems that opposition is losing steam. You also feel it? Look at RJD, how dilapidated, and it almost looks like it is in a shambles. Even though they put up a big campaign, there were crowds which were seen behind Tejasvi Yadav. Look at the Vote Adhikar Yatra, which Rahul Gandhi had put up. Now look at what's happening within Congress. Is opposition losing steam somewhere, or is it losing the political will now to fight and an invincible and a marathon machinery of Modi and Shah?
I hope what you're saying is temporary, that this confusion that we are seeing in the ranks of uh, the opposition in Bihar and elsewhere is temporary. I hope, the what has happened in the Lalu Yadav family is unfortunate in the extreme. I would not like to comment on their family affairs, but it has not created a goodwill for them amongst the people. Congress party cannot afford to relax at this point of time. And as I said, they'll have to create conditions in which Rahul Gandhi, along with all his senior leaders, hits the street and goes to jail. Uh, they will have to approach the people of this country with facts and figures to show how threatened democracy is in our country. Democracy survives only because of free and fair elections. If the election commission is not prepared to hold free and fair elections in this country, then what can anybody do except to hit the streets? So let the opposition get together, let them seriously consider what are the options available to them, including in parliament and including in Bihar Assembly to begin with. I mean, my recommendation seriously will be that these few people who have been elected to the Bihar Assembly by or belonging to the opposition parties, they need not join the assembly. These they may not take oath. Let the NDA run Bihar as they want to. So there are, many options which are available um, to the opposition. You have to go back and look at the playbook of the independence struggle. You have to go back and look at the playbook of the JP Andolan, and you will have enough material there to tell you what your role should be going forward.
Sir, I also want to talk to you about the role of election commission, specifically Mr. Gyanesh Kumar. Now, there have been chief election commissioners who've come out and open and spoken about the kind of discrepancies which have been found as far as the voter list is concerned, the way the SIR is conducted. S.Y. Qureshi just spoke a few days ago in a podcast and he tried to show a mirror. What would you really say to the conduct of Mr. Gyanesh Kumar? Should he be impeached? Should he face a situation like what happened in Bangladesh? We saw the chief electoral officer over there getting arrested. Will Gyanesh Kumar see a similar consequence?
Ganesh Kumar is a disgrace. You are aware of the fact that I, at one time, was a member of the Indian Administrative Service. I spent 25 years in that service before I quit and joined public life. I have always felt proud of the fact that I belong to the IAS. Until Gyanesh Kumar came on the scene, he is also an IAS officer, and I feel ashamed now to say that I once belonged to the IAS. Gyanesh Kumar has been a disgrace. He has been a disgrace to the IAS. He's been a disgrace to the whole bureaucracy in this country. He has been a disgrace as Chief Election Commissioner. And surely an impeachment motion should be brought against him in Parliament, even if the opposition knows that they will lose the impeachment motion. But such a motion should certainly be brought. Gyanesh Kumar, it depends on the opposition now. As I said earlier, they should hit the streets. They should make it impossible for Gyanesh Kumar to continue to function as Chief Election Commissioner of this country. Gyanesh Kumar must go. If democracy has to be saved, then Gyanesh Kumar has to go. And if he does not go through impeachment, he does not go through resignation. He must go as a result of a popular movement.
But when we speak of Ganesh Kumar, now look at how 272 Modi Bhaks, which included which included judges, about 16 of them, 123 bureaucrats, 133 people from the armed forces. They came about and used a political letter against Rahul Gandhi. It was an open letter. And they said that, which includes intellectuals, which includes think tanks, which are speaking against these institutions. And they provided a cover fire of sorts for the Election Commission and specifically Ganesh Kumar. Why do you think they did that? And they are saying that, there are voices which are trying to malign the constitutional institutions, like Election Commission.
If the constitutional institution does not function as a constitutional institution, if it functions as the handmaid of the home minister of the country, then what is the option left? And these 272 people who have signed, purportedly signed that letter to Rahul Gandhi, they have disgraced themselves. They didn't deserve to be where they were, either in the judiciary or in the bureaucracy or in the army. They have proved once again that they have been completely, thoroughly politicized after their retirement, or perhaps even before. So that 272 has no meaning. And why 272? 272 is the majority mark in Lok Sabha. So is
Yes.
272 something to do with this majority mark in Lok Sabha? Why not 300? Why not 250? So that does not deserve any attention. I don't think we should waste our time discussing these useless people who have signed that letter to Rahul Gandhi. It has absolutely no sense. It
No,
doesn't.
but it's the Godi media which is trying to show these 272 people as custodians of constitutional institutions, and they are the real people who are talking about Prime Minister Modi. They are the ones who are talking about Ganesh Kumar. They are the ones who think in favor of the Election Commission. Whereas the other voices who are opposing it, or those voices who are talking about vote chori, it seems are the real traitors of the country.
You brought in Godi media. What can one say about the Godi media? This is I was not even aware of this term Godi media until recently, when Godi media became so current as a description of people who have sold their soul to the powers that be. The tragedy of this country is that this Godi media is not asking questions to the government of the day. They are asking questions to the opposition. They are raising issues about the opposition. Now, opposition should boycott Godi media. That should be their first step. They should not send their representatives to participate in debates which the Godi media organizes. And Godi media is something which is easily recognizable. It's not that we'll have to do some research to find out who is Godi media. They're all over the place. Their pictures are all over the place. So one thing which the opposition should do is boycott Godi media. They will not send their representatives to participate in the debates of the Godi media. And in other ways also, Godi media should be boycotted by the opposition in this country and by all the right-thinking people in this country.
Now, the coming winter session, which starts from 1st of December, what do you think should be the first thing which the opposition should do? Right now, we do not know. Maybe if there is some plan of the India Alliance, though Mallikarjun Kharge, that day when he had the review meeting, he announced that Congress is going to hold a big rally at Ramlila Maidan in the first week of December. Now, is that going to be enough? And also, specifically talking about the parliament session, what should the opposition do from day one?
The Ramlila Maidan rally is a good beginning. They should hold the rally when Parliament is in session. Number two, Parliament has been belittled and denigrated by the government itself because there are only 15 working days in the winter session this time. So, the first thing which the opposition should do is to bring an impeachment motion against Gyanesh Kumar. And let's see then what happens in Parliament. And after that, let me remind you that the BJP, and I was a member of the BJP in Lok Sabha then, had in 2011 forced the complete washout of the winter session of Parliament. The demand was that there should be a joint parliamentary committee to look into the 2G scam. We did not allow the Parliament to function even for a single day in that session, winter session. So BJP can't now say, we are holier than thou and it's a bad thing for you to disrupt Parliament. This Parliament has no meaning. Start disruption from day one. Don't walk out. Make sure that you stay in the house. Make sure that the house is not allowed to function. That is what you should do. I hope the opposition will have the capacity and the courage to do it in the coming session of Parliament.
Mr. Sinha, I also want to talk to you about the Modi phenomena. People had started writing off Prime Minister Modi, saying that, look, his popularity has come down, 240 seats in Lok Sabha elections, which happened last year. Then, there were certain elections which were held. We saw Haryana, we saw Maharashtra, and where BJP won with huge numbers. Of course, vote chori is included in that Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, and they won the elections with a huge majority. Now, after Bihar elections, it seems that Modi has become invincible. What do you have to say to that?
Uh, you know, as you mentioned, there was in the last Lok Sabha elections, they came down to 240 seats BJP from 303. So, frankly, BJP lost the election. It's only because they got the support of Nitish Kumar and
Yes.
Chandrababu Naidu that they are in government. This was the a moment when Modi and Shah realized that they can't win elections in this country if elections are free and fair. And therefore, they worked out a methodology in cahoots with the Election Commission to ensure that they do not lose any further state assembly elections. Lok Sabha elections are not going to be held in the near future. But if the law says had continued, let's say in Haryana or in Maharashtra or in Bihar, then quite clearly it would have become difficult for them to continue to be in power in Delhi at the center. Therefore, they decided that they must now win every state election. And that's exactly what they have done. Nobody in Haryana expected BJP to win. Nobody expected BJP or the NDA to win in Maharashtra after the Lok Sabha showing. And nobody expected them to sweep Bihar like they have done in the recent election. Now, this has become their modus operandi, that they will manage the elections in such a way that they don't lose elections. And the Election Commission, especially the Chief Election Commissioner, Gyanesh Kumar, is fully a party to this.
So, which means that SIR, you think, is deliberately designed to make Modi and Shah win every state election?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, they had taken recourse to other methods which failed to work in these elections that I have mentioned, especially the Lok Sabha election. So their criminal mind has thought of a new criminal way to manage elections, and that's exactly what they have done in these states which have gone to elections. And this is such a dangerous instrument now in their hand that it will be impossible for any other party to win elections. Mamata Banerjee must be extremely careful in West Bengal because she will lose if the same game is played in Bengal. And it's so easy, to delete those names from the voters list because these names can be easily recognized. Modi
Yeah.
had once said that you can identify these people from their clothes, but you can certainly identify these people who will not vote for BJP from their names.
Absolutely. One last question, Mr. Sinha, before I wind up the interview. There are several reports of BLOs dying by suicide, whether it is Kerala, it's Rajasthan, MP, West Bengal. Now, since you said that opposition should try its level best not to let Ganesh Kumar function, do you think that this onus of responsibility also lies on Ganesh Kumar, the kind of pressure which has been put on the BLOs? Yesterday, I saw a clip which was on the social media, it became viral. This was a BLO from Uttar Pradesh's Basti area, and where the SDM was shouting to that BLO that, I will get an FIR registered, I will ensure you go to the jail. If that is the kind of threat which is meted out to the BLOs, shouldn't there be a case against Ganesh Kumar? And shouldn't this case be lodged by the opposition parties, at least in the opposition ruling states?
Of course they should. Of course they should. I mean, Ganesh Kumar is a party to this murder, and there should be a murder charge brought against Ganesh Kumar. The other point which I'd like to make is that after all, Election Commission does not have people of its own. They depend on the state machinery, administrative machinery, to carry out their functions. I will not, I'll go to the extent of saying that if Ganesh Kumar does not behave properly, then the state governments of the opposition ruled states should refuse to cooperate with Election Commission. If they have no moral authority left, why should the state governments cooperate with him? I'll give you an example. The constitution provides for a popular rule and president's rule in states when the constitutional machinery fails. There is a third kind of rule which has come into existence, and that is the election commission rule. You declare the dates of the election, the model code of conduct comes into place immediately, and then who rules the roost? It's the election commission. Isn't it? It is, to my mind, entirely unconstitutional. The election commission cannot have such powers.
Yeah.
So therefore, they should also challenge this. So there are various ways in which the opposition can make its voice heard and checkmate the election commission. And ultimately, they must go to the people of this country. They must hit the streets and ensure that election commission behaves properly, discharges its constitutional responsibility properly, and if it does not, then Ganesh Kumar goes home.
Absolutely. So we'll have to wait and watch what opposition does, what is going to be the next course of action as far as the opposition is concerned. We'll have to wait and watch. Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha, for joining on HW News. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.